Tomorrow on This Morning Live.
Environmentally friendly, pollution-free, remote control airplanes.
You draped across each other for 9 hours a day.
Richard Dagenet. Well, he's in Coteau Station this morning with some model airplane gliders. Let's take a look.
Good morning. Watch this. Wow. That is not the discus throw, obviously. That is a hand launch glider. We are with, that's Marc Gervais, who's a member of the Montreal area Thermal Soarers, a club that's been around for more than 30 years. They've got about 35 members, and their remote control planes are environmentally friendly. No noise, no pollution of any kind. They have all kinds of events that they do. They have competitions as well. We'll find out what makes these planes work, what kind of planes they are, because there's some electric ones and some that don't have electricity at all. All of that's coming up later on This Morning Live.
Morning Live. It is 19 minutes to 8 o'clock already. Sue Smith with you this morning. It is absolutely gorgeous out there, a little bit cool. Richard Dagenet is in Coteau Station this morning, and he is learning how to fly model airplanes. Good morning, Richard.
Is about to launch his electric-powered glider. Away it goes. I'm not sure I'd want to be aboard that. I'm with Jacques Girard, who is vice president of the Montreal area Thermal Soarers, a club that's been around for more than 30 years. Explain what this club is about. It is environmentally friendly, first of all.
Most definitely. We're about 35 members here flying either gliders or powered gliders. Essentially doing no noise at all, no pollution, no nothing. It's very zen, I could say. Enjoying yourself, you know, coming over here. We're mostly building our planes and then flying them up, either for fun, leisure, or even competition. We're doing a competition with other clubs, and we're having a ball of fun.
Yeah. Now, competition, what would the competition be? Whoever stays in the air the longest?
Right. We're just putting the planes up, and then whoever gets as high as possible and stay up as long as possible. And sometimes it's going to include also flying within a window, landing at a specific time, trying to land within a spot on the ground and be as accurate as possible. So all kind of things.
Yeah. Explain the joy of this. Because you were saying, you know, we're kids.
Oh, we're really, retarded kids, if I can say. This is a leisure where you can concentrate, forget about your work, forget about other things, build your planes, and then really have the fun of seeing fly, and fly as good as possible. Sometimes, we have a little problem, crash, but fix it and get going. It's really a brain cleaner, if I could call it this way.
It's big in Europe, apparently.
Oh, it's big in Europe. It's very big in the States. In the States, they will do competitions where you can get the prizes for the winner at as much as $50,000. It's very much a big thing in the States and in Europe.
Yeah. What about here in Quebec, in Canada?
It's not very well known. We're trying to grow it up. We're trying to do a little bit of publicity here and there. We're getting a few members here and there. We'd like to have more, but it's a small community, and it's very quite a bit of fun. All know each other and give tricks to each other, exchange emails, and try to fly as often as possible.
Jacques, for someone who is interested in doing this, does it cost a lot of money to have one of these planes? Some of them go, you built one, you were saying last night, that goes, it's going to go 100 kilometers an hour. Is that 100? Is that what you said?
Yeah. You can buy kits that cost as little as $30, $40, and then you have to buy the radio, which could be as little as $100. So you can be up in the air for $150, $200, and then you can spend tons of money also. That's on the other end. So, people that really want to get into it, they have to get in touch with us. We'll help them build, teach them what to do, what kind of glues to use, what kind of material to use. And then from there on, the sky is the limit. You can have fun.
Jacques Girard is vice president of the Montreal area Thermal Soarers. The sky's the limit. We'll show you more later.
Thanks, Richard. We, of course, will be checking in with Richard throughout the show. Right now, it's time to take a look at...
For the team, hon.
It's time right now to take a look at Richard Dagenet.
Good morning. We are with members of the Montreal area Thermal Soarers. Marc Gervais, one of the members. And Marc, you were telling me that birds are your best friend. Maybe explain to the viewers why.
Well, as you know, Richard, we do a lot of soaring here at the Montreal area Thermal Soarers flying site. And obviously the birds are a good sign of when there's lift. So as soon as we see birds or a flock of birds circling and not flapping their wings, we know that they're in lift. So we try and go and fly with them and obviously gain some altitude with our powerless aircraft.
Not just some altitude. You were saying like 500 feet. Did I hear right?
On a good day, yeah, we can get 500 feet, perhaps even 1,000 feet. We've had flights of over 2-hour duration here at the club.
Okay. Now, this particular plane that you're holding, and we're going to show you another one next half hour, is a hand-launched glider, and I love watching you do this. Go ahead and show us how you do it. It looks like Olympic discus throw.
Yeah, we hold it by the wingtip.
You're holding it by the wingtip, yeah. Into the wind. One spin. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Another one of your members, Stanley, is down the road there with a plane. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that plane?
Yeah, Stanley's plane is a plane that he built in the late 60s, and he's converted it to electric power. So it's a plane that he's going to take off and hopefully fly successfully. There it goes. It's about a 6 or 7 pound aircraft, totally electric powered. As you can hear, it virtually makes no noise at all.
That's one of the big pluses of this club, eh? Environmentally friendly.
Exactly. It's silent flight, whether it's electric or soaring flight, gliders. Yeah, entirely environmentally friendly, yes.
And you were saying also, frequency is everything. Maybe explain that.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's a couple of planes, more than one plane in the air right now, and the idea is that frequency, have to be no conflicts between frequencies of transmitters so that more than one person can fly, so at the same time.
Jacques Girard is vice president of the club and just caught your plane. And you get extra points in a competition. You're going to launch it again. Yahoo! Into the wind. Whoa! And you get extra points in a competition if you catch the plane.
That's correct.
So should I try catching it?
Yeah, we're going to have it come around and see if you can't catch it. Jacques will bring it around into the wind to slow it down.
Okay, you want to take the controls?
I'll take the mic.
You take the controls to fly your plane in.
Okay.
I'll give Jacques the mic, and I'll try and catch it. You catch it by around the nose, I guess?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh! Right. Was that a good catch, or was that too rough?
I'm going to sign you up, Rich.
Wow, pretty cool. But it gets cooler than this. They have this winch powered by a car battery that launches planes into the air, and you're going to see that when we come back later. Stay with us.
Time for a quick commercial break, but please stay with us. We have much more ahead on This Morning Live. Now we'll leave you with a shot of Richard Dagenet, who spent the morning at Coteau Station with the model airplane group.
To return to Richard and see if he's gotten any better at catching those model airplanes.
Good morning. There are basically two types of gliders. One is an electric-powered glider, and the other is a pure glider. This is an electric-powered glider. It belongs to John Reese, who's holding it. Maybe you could show the motor just running. Look at how fast that goes. And they do what's called in competition a limited motor run, where they let the motor go for 30 seconds, the plane gains altitude, and then they all turn off their motors, and it's the one who stays in the air the longest that wins the competition. And John, I guess you can launch that right now. There she goes. And the other, the pure glider, is launched using this winch system. This is Marc Gervais, who is another member of the Montreal area thermal soarers. And wow, that's how big is that plane?
That's a 3-meter wingspan aircraft. Again, it's a pure glider, so no power whatsoever, except for the servos that control the control surfaces for turning and flying it in the air.
So the flaps are the only things that move?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, it's got a hook, a little thing on the bottom?
Yeah, it's got a tow hook on the bottom that allows us to connect the tow line, which is run by this winch here, which is a car starter motor with a spool adapted onto it and a foot pedal. So if it's okay, we'll just hook it up and we'll let her grip.
So there's a pulley located how far away right now?
It's about 400 feet out.
400 feet out, okay.
And actually connects to the aircraft here. So
Okay, the foot pedal is in the grass there. I don't know if you can see it.
That's right. And what we'll do is we'll put some tension on the line and launch the plane. All set?
Yeah.
We're going up nice and straight, getting some good altitude. We'll stop the tension and we'll just fly off the line. And there we are. That's how you launch an unpowered sailplane.
And how high did that go?
Well, that's probably about 200 feet, 250 feet. It's not quite as high as we go in the competition, but certainly it's high enough to allow us to go and search out some thermal currents and hopefully try and gain some altitude.
And you can stay up there forever, basically.
Well, that's, yeah, that's the whole idea, but certainly Depends on the weather. We're it's Mother Nature decides how long we stay up. And if we find some up currents, we can gain altitude. And unfortunately, if we find sink, we'll be on the ground shortly.
So what determines what, the winners are the ones who stay in the air the longest. Obviously, it's Mother Nature, but it's obviously an ability as well to fly, to read your plane, to pick out the currents. How do you become good at that?
Practice, basically, and of course, having good eyesight. We have to be able to see the plane far away because we range over quite a bit of distance. We can fly up to a kilometer and a half away. So we have to be able to see it, and on a day like today that's cloudless, I mean, it can be a little bit difficult seeing it when it's far away. But the idea is obviously to stay up, and if we're lucky, we find some lift.
You welcome new members?
Oh, of course, absolutely. It's an open club, and we accept anybody who is looking to fly RC models.
Yeah, and you can, $30, you can have a kit that basically will get you the plane, just $30, and then once you get the remote control added in there, it's about $150, and environmentally friendly too, no pollution whatsoever.
Oh, you bet, much.